Hi, my name is Stephanie Drumheller, and I'm a vertebrate paleontologist at the University of Tennessee. My research is mostly about feeding behavior and diet in the fossil record, and specifically groups called the archosaurs. So the last common ancestor of birds and crocs, and everyone descended from that. So how do we figure out behavior and diet from things that are very, very dead? We can't watch them eat. So one of the things we can do is under the field of taphonomy, the study of what we call bone surface modifications, which is kind of exactly what it sounds like. There are all sorts of things that can mark up the surface of bones before they're buried and become fossilized for paleontologists to find. So if we can figure out what those different traces are, we can divvy them up and figure out which processes caused what, we can tell an awful lot about what happened to remains between when the organism died and when we found it. To help us identify bite marks in the fossil record, one of the things we can do is collect modern examples and compare them back to the traces we see in fossils. To get crocodylian bite marks, I took cow and pig bones to a zoo in Florida and threw them in the enclosures with as many living species of alligator, crocodile, caiman, and gharial as we were able to work with. Once we got those samples back and cleaned them up, we were able to look at the bite marks and try to find things that set them apart from mammalian traces and other large predators. So this is one of the examples of the bones we collected there. You can see very large punctures over here where the tooth fully penetrated the bone. This is actually a complete break where the animal bit straight through the bone, and you can see a notch from a tooth right there where the impact occurred. There's also lots of smaller traces as well. So obviously birds are dinosaurs, but also obviously modern birds don't have teeth. So while they do leave marks on things that they eat, it's not terribly useful when we're trying to compare them back to toothed theropods from the Mesozoic. So who do we turn to instead of modern birds? Crocodylians are a great group to look at because they are cousins of dinosaurs, but their teeth are generally much more conical. Dinosaur teeth are often flattened and recurved and serrated. So fortunately, we do have groups running around today who have very similar teeth, the varanid lizards. They're not dinosaurs and they're not particularly closely related, but their teeth are superficially similar. So if we get bite marks from varanids and we get bite marks from crocodylians, compare them to one another, we can start to make predictions about what dinosaur bite marks should look like in the fossil record. Bite marks are not our only source of evidence when we're reconstructing diet and feeding behavior in the fossil record. There's also skull architecture, isotopic studies, even coprolites. But if we take all of these different lines of evidence and we bring them together, we're starting to get pretty good at figuring out how to piece together behavior in these extinct animals.